Bonjour, welcome to Seam Allowance. My name is Valérie, and today I would like to share with you my general sewing goals for 2021, as well as my first Makenine list. I was gonna go into the future and talk about my goals for 2021. Last year, well, for the last couple of years, I would see people making videos and Instagram posts about their Makenine list for the year. And it's funny because pre-pandemic, I was like, oh, 9 things. It's so many. I'm not going to be able to make that many things. And I haven't counted what I made in 2020, but I'm pretty sure I at least doubled that. So this year I want to jump in and set some goals that are like not necessarily projects, and some a Makenine list that is like exact projects. Most of those are things I already have a pattern and fabric for, so I just haven't had the time to make them. Also, if I have like a fabric I really like, I might want to make a wearable toile before that, so it's like more projects to make. Like, anyways, so let's start with the more general goals. As I said, I've been super interested in historical sewing lately, and at first I was like, oh, it's just like, I really like to dress up and wear costumes, it's part of my job, and I always liked history and things like that, so I was just watching the videos and enjoying it, and slowly but surely I started thinking, what if I made something? But at first, like, my reason was like, you don't have the room. Where are you gonna wear that? You don't know anyone in your area who does that sort of thing. You're already sort of an eccentric person, so, like, tone it down. But really, like, I like it. I want to make it. So, one of the steps I intend to, like, take to get into historical sewing is do more hand sewing, and specifically I want to get comfortable sewing with a thimble. I had one which was too big, I gave it away. I bought one which is the right size, and on a recent project I tried using it, but like, if usually I hold my needle in my, like, between those 3 fingers, if I have a thimble on, I will just lift my finger and just not use it. It's super useless, and also might not be super appropriate. Hey, that's the finger that we use for thimbles. So I really want to get like accustomed to like that weird feeling and that being able to touch, because another big goal I have is to make an 18th century ensemble. So for the stays, I will, even though I will probably sew some of it on the machine, at least the binding will have to be done by hand, and I will kill my fingers if I don't use a thimble. So maybe that's what's gonna make me learn to use it, because I won't have a choice. Also, in this like 18th century ensemble thing, I want to make, so the stays, a shift, some pockets, which I would really like to embroider, a petticoat and under petticoat, and a jacket or like some sort of gown, or I'm not too sure about it yet, but I have some ideas in my Makenine for that. Also, I got a cape pattern for Christmas, so I want to make that. I want to make a piece of outerwear, which I've never done before. I really enjoyed knitting sweaters in 2020, so I want to make at least one this year. I have a couple patterns in mind, but I haven't decided yet. And I have a pair of socks that I started in the spring. I want to finish them. Yeah. And also, I mean, it's a project that's been like ongoing in my mind for a lot of time. More like, it was supposed to be my birthday present a year and a half ago. It's to buy a sewing machine. I have one, it's vintage, it only does straight stitches, so I want something a bit more modern that will at least be able to do zigzags, and I would like to be able, if I can have like a stretch stitch that is not a zigzag, and maybe a couple embroidery like stitches, that would be nice. So of course with the lockdown it's been harder to go to the store and get one. Right now here it's like a stricter lockdown. We have a curfew, and all non-essential businesses are closed. So like I'm not gonna buy it online. I'm not gonna buy something new. So I need to go to the store and choose one of the refurbished machines that they have. So hopefully I can do that soon-ish, because there are a couple of projects I would like to make that need at least a zigzag. So that's for the general goals. So thimble, 18th century ensemble, outerwear, new machine, and some knitwear. So now onto my actual Makenine list. So for the 18th century ensemble, I've decided that I want to make the Scroop Patterns Augusta Stays, as well as probably the Amalia jacket. They're so pretty, and I have a fabric that I think I might be able to use for it. So I'm excited to make that. Also, I got a pattern for Christmas, which is the Sew Over It chic cape, and it was a gift from my partner, and he also got me some melt-in wool. So I'm really excited to like work with this new type of fabric and see how outerwear like is different from just like regular clothes. See how my machine will handle it. So I might need to get the new machine before I tackle that. Number 4 is the knitted cardigan or sweater. So my options are another Withmore sweater, a Poison Girl. There's Night Before Ski that I really like, and the Lodge thing, the Christmassy one with the things here. Or I recently discovered Knit Love Wool, and she has really pretty colorwork Fair Isle patterns. But I just can't decide which one is my favorite. So it will either be Taylor Studio, Poison Girl, or Knit Love Wool, most likely. Now, number 5 is a pattern that I have had for 2-3 years. It's a Butterick pattern by Gertie, and all the versions I've seen of it are so flattering, and I just need to like get around and make it. I have a couple fabrics in my stash that would work well for it, so I just need to tackle it. I don't think it would be warm enough for right now, so maybe like if I started in March or something, should have it for spring. There's another Gertie pattern that I want to make. In her book, Gertie Sews Casual Vintage. So it's I made a pair of shorts last summer that was based on that pants pattern, but now I want to make the trouser version. And I thrifted 2 fabrics that will be really good for it. One is a gray one, which I will use as my wearable toile, and the other one is a navy blue. They might have wool in them, I'm not sure. I did like a burn test and stuff, but I really suck at that. If you too suck at that, Morgan Donner had a really cool video about like how to determine what is the content of a fabric. Hopefully I can link it somewhere. Then number 7 is to make a Victorian corset and a chemise. This one is almost crossed off my list because I thrifted a corset, a corset and like underpinnings pattern last fall also, or last summer. And I started making the corset in October. So I made a couple toiles, and then I had to put it aside the rest of my vacation after the actual Christmas and New Year were dedicated to the corset, and it's almost finished. The only thing I have left to do is the flossing. I would like to have some lace at the top, but I don't have any in my stash. That would work. And I have to change the lacing because the lacing I bought was not long enough in the end. So yeah, I need to make the chemise, do the flossing, add the lace, and I'll be done with this one. My number 8 on my list is the Sew Over It Maisie dress, which I bought the pattern for my birthday last year, so in August, and I found a really cute bedsheet at the thrift store again, which would work really well. I have another fabric that I'm planning to toile it with. I've printed the pattern already, so it's just not appropriate for the weather we have right now. So I'll wait a little bit for this one. But it's such a pretty dress. I really am excited about doing it. It's a raglan, though. This dress is a raglan, and also the Selkie London top is a raglan. And so far, like the 2 patterns I've made with raglans have needed a lot of adjustments. So I'm a little, it's like, I hope it's gonna go well, basically. And I realize my list doesn't have a 9th item, but from the top of my head, I could say there's the Sew Over It Joan dress that I've really liked, and that's been on my list for a while. I have 2 fabrics that would work well for it. I think it's gonna take a lot of fitting because like it's a fitted dress and my proportions are, yeah, I need a lot of fitting. Yeah, hopefully I can start it slowly and finish it at some point to wear it like in the fall or something. I think I would need to make a time frame for all the things because there are many things on this list that I said I would start later, but I can't make everything later. Yeah, so I think I'll start with the pants actually. And hopefully in 2021, I'll be able to complete the things that are on my list and my goals and more, of course, because there will always be a new shiny thing that I want to make. I'm gonna try and like be good and not squirrel, you know? But yeah, and I'm really hoping to be able to make more videos. The channel is, it's I have a conflicting relationship with it because it's really pushing me out of my comfort zone. And so for that reason, I need to be like completely alone in the house to like even dare to film something. And it doesn't happen much these days, you know, because working from home and stuff. So I'm gonna try to do more because I'll quite enjoy it. But, you know, I'll get the hang of it eventually too. That concludes our video for today. I hope you enjoyed learning about my plans for the coming year. If we have some projects or goals in common, please leave them in the comments below so we can share about the details of the project or the technical aspects or whatnot. And if you had fun watching, please consider leaving a thumbs up or even subscribing so you know when I post next. In the meantime, stay safe and keep sewing. Bye! And Augusta stays? Augusta. August,